This is Maurice Gilbert with Concilium Executive Search. Today's topic is candidate sourcing. And last time we spoke about developing the profile of the candidate first, and this oftentimes will take as much as 2 hours in working with the client to develop the profile. What will this professional bring to the table, both from a technical perspective and the soft skills, particularly the presentation skills, leadership skills, that type of thing. So once that's developed, then internally our team gets together and does a strategy. The strategy of where are we apt to find the professional that our client is looking for. And some of the elements in this include industry. Second, it would include competing companies. Are we going to go after someone from a direct competitor of our client? And one of the other components would be geographic. Where are we apt to find that professional? Is it New York City? Is it in the Midwest? That type of thing. So let me give you a case in point. We were doing a search for a pharmaceutical client of ours, and the search was for a professional to be in Ohio. Well, there are no pharmaceutical companies in Ohio. So we had to strategize, where are we apt to find a professional with these type of skill sets. And the closest market to Ohio is the Chicago area, where there are some pharmaceutical clients. And that's where we decided to make our initial concentrated effort to find the candidate. As it turns out, in that case, that's precisely where we did find the candidate, working for a pharmaceutical company in the Chicago area. But we had also had another element in our strategy. We decided to look up professionals, in this case, that had gone to school in the Midwest and perhaps wanted to return. So we were talking to candidates as far away as the East Coast, the West Coast, but we knew they had some connection to the Midwest. They went to school there, something to that effect, and we also approached those professionals as well. With this particular client as well, we had to strategize, are we going to go after a direct competitor? Oftentimes that is the case. That's what our clients would desire, but sometimes there is something that would prohibit us from doing that, especially if several people have left a particular company. They may say, hands off, we have an understanding with that company that we're not going to, quote, raid them for their talent. So that has to, of course, be taken into consideration. Once we have developed our strategy, then we get to our messaging. Our messaging means our approach to actually sending out our emails, talking to people about the particular opportunity. And our messaging, we have a distinct advantage in that we have a tremendous database. The focus of our search business is on placing compliance officers and legal regulatory counsel. So that's pretty much what our database is made out of. Thousands of professionals with this skill set. So when we begin our messaging, we go to our database and we start our process there. However, it does not stop with people in our database. We are talking to people in our database that may be a prospective candidate, or we may be talking to those people in our database because they may be a referral source. Referrals are a very important aspect of how we source candidates, but the caveat is this: you could only ask for a referral if you basically know that individual. If you've developed some sort of communication over the years, a bond of trust and respect, then you have the right to say, who might you know that has this particular skill set? If you don't have that relationship, no one is going to volunteer a close friend or colleague for a referral. So that's a distinct advantage that we have, in that we know thousands of people, we've had direct communication with them, and they are very gracious in giving us a referral if they are not the appropriate candidate for the particular search at hand. And lastly, we have another very, very distinct advantage in the profile that we place of compliance officers and legal regulatory counsel. That advantage is a publication that we developed. It's called Corporate Compliance Insights. And this is read by as many as 50,000 legal and compliance professionals a month. The publication is dedicated to topics relating to legal and compliance matters. So this is a phenomenally large database that also contributes to people that we could engage in conversation, either as a possible candidate or referral source. And that is basically how we approach the area of sourcing professionals. I'm glad I had an opportunity to share this information with you, and look forward to seeing you again in our next presentation.